Hi, this is Tamara Bernadette from Girl Changed, and I have a question. Tonight I was just thinking about this, and I just wanted to pose this question. Have you received a promise from God, from the Lord, and in the beginning you felt like it was the most incredible thing that you thought, hey, yeah, I can wait for that. I can wait for that, sure, because I know the promise that He's given me is amazing. And then you find that some time has gone, maybe weeks, maybe it was only days, weeks, months, even years that has gone by, and you have not received the promise that He has given you. So what do you do during that time? What do you do? How do you handle it? I mean, I don't know many people that have, this is my experience, I don't know many people who have made it all the way to the end of a long wait, but some have. So the question is, what do? You want to give up, right? You want to give up, and you don't want to go and continue on these different, the different roads that you're waiting on the Lord to come through, that the different detours that you go on, you're done, right? You just don't want to do anymore, and the discouragement and the despair that just grows from day after day, and waiting, and a lot of the time He's silent. He's silent, and you feel like, where is He? Well, the Lord says that He will never leave you nor forsake you. And I know sometimes it just seems like that sounds like words, and it doesn't seem like that is really true. But it is true. He will never leave you nor forsake you. During that time, what's going on is He is working on you, and especially if you've asked Him to change a certain situation, or if you've asked Him to change a person, or if you've asked Him to change the circumstances, He's going to do that in His own time. Excuse me, but what He's going to do first is work on you. He's going to work on your attitude and maybe character. Maybe there's some character things that need to be worked out. And I have found throughout the years for myself, that was a huge case for me, is a lot of character change. And especially when I thought, hey, I got this. And then, some time would go by and I would realize, oh my gosh, I did not got this. I did not have it. I didn't. And He would have to show me that there was some more tweaking, some more chipping, and some more changing that He needed to do in me before He could change circumstances that I have been waiting for. And it is natural that we want to quit, that we want to give in, that we just can't handle it anymore. There are just too much of life has just passed by, and you just don't want to go on anymore. But you have to. And then when you come to that conclusion that you have to, because you don't want to think that you have wasted all that time for nothing. You want to make it to the goal. You want to make it to the promise. So the question is, what do you do while you're waiting? What do you do during that time while you're waiting on the Lord to come through and to manifest all the promises that He has given you? Maybe it's just one or two things. Maybe it's many things. But whatever it is, there's that process of waiting, and waiting is not a passive thing. It's not. It's not sitting on your butt doing nothing. It is very active. Maybe not active in the worldly sense, but in the spiritual sense, it's very active. You are doing many, many different things, and you have to look at it like that. Your life is not going to be the same when you put your life in the hands of the Lord. It's not going to be the same. You're going to go through hard times. Many people are not going to understand what's going on with you. They're just not going to understand. They're going to judge, did you really hear from the Lord? Or, I hear this a lot, and I still hear it often, God would never do that. He would never do that. He would not tell you to do that. And yes, He will. God will do whatever He has to get you to pay attention. He will do whatever He has to. He'll use people to get to you, to deliver a message indirectly, to get you to pay attention. He will allow you to be in circumstances that you would never think that He would do. Well, He will do it. And don't make the mistake and think that He would never do certain things, because He will. I know that for a fact. So it could be anything that you could be doing. It could be that you have to take care of your health. It could be that he's been telling you to stop smoking. It could be that he's told you to stop drinking, or he's told you to be nice, or he's told you to whatever it is. It could be the smallest thing, and by many standards, but really it's a huge thing. You just don't want to do it. But you have to. And I suggest that you listen to what he has to say, because he's not trying to hurt you. He's not trying to punish you. It is ultimately for your good. So when you're feeling down and you feel like he's not listening, that he's not paying attention, he is. And if you're asking him questions like, why haven't you told me the next thing to do, or what's the next step that you would have me do? Well, ask yourself, did I do the last thing that he told me to do? I know I found that in my case often, that I would say that to him, well, Lord, what's the next thing that you want me to do? And I would get silence, just nothing for a long time, and then I would realize I didn't do the last thing he told me to do because it either seemed too easy, unimportant, or difficult, any one of the above or all of them. But once you complete the thing that he has told you to do in the first place, once you get that done, then he's got a next step. He doesn't tell you everything at once. He will tell you in the beginning what the end will be, but he does not tell you what's going to happen in between. That's why it seems like it's taking forever, is because once he tells you this wonderful plan he has for you, you want it right now. You want it, hey, right now. I love it. I'm ready for it. I'm in. But he doesn't tell you what he's going to do in between. And in that in-between time is when he's working on you to get prepared, to get ready. And you think getting prepared and get ready is a short period of time, and it's not. It could be one thing he wants you to do, you're done with that, then it's another thing he wants you to do, you're done with that, and so on and so forth until you get to where he wants you to be, to receive and be prepared for the thing he has for you in the first place. It doesn't happen all at once because we can't handle it all at once. It's like when a teenager or a young adult says, they criticize somebody and they say, well, I could do that. I could do that job. I could do this. I could do that. They think they're so much better. And then if you put that kid with the immature thinking in those situations, just like that, say, oh, you think you're all that, you can handle it? Okay, go do it. They can't. They can't because they don't have experience. They're not prepared. They have no idea of what it takes to be in that position. And that's what we're like. We want to just jump to the promise. We want to jump to it. But we're not ready. We're not capable for the big picture that God has for us. So he has us taking smaller steps and complete those steps. And then when those things are done, he can hand over the gift. He can hand over the promise. And then we are capable. Then we're ready. Then we can do it. And that's when we will see the promises come to pass. And this I learned the hard way because I fought, I kicked, I screamed, I tugged, I ran because I didn't want these things. But to think about quitting after all this time of waiting would have been a waste of time. And I don't want to waste any more time. I don't know about you, but I want the promise. So I want to encourage you that if you feel like he's not paying attention to you, or the struggle is too hard, or you want to see the end of this, I understand. But hang in there. Let me encourage you to hang in there because the promise is going to be worth it. It's going to be above and beyond more that you could ever ask or imagine. It's in his word. That's what he promised. And believe it. Believe it. It's like my dad used to say. You can take that to the bank. Believe it. So you might have a lot of people that might not understand. That's okay. Doesn't matter what they think. What matters is what God thinks. He's the one that's going to reward you in front of your naysayers. So anyway, I just wanted to pass that on because I was thinking about that tonight. I had a situation that kind of came at me, and I thought, oh, well, how can I handle it? Well, this is how you handle it. You just keep going, and you believe God. So I want to encourage you to do the same thing. So I want to say good night, and this is Tamara Bernadette with Girl Changed. And don't forget to check out my website at www.tamarabernadette.com. All right. Good night. Have a good one. Bye-bye.